Welcome to all of you looking to blend technology, teaching strategies, and emerging trends to create engaging educational experiences. Now Marcus has an upcoming presentation and he's a bit nervous. He has taken his time and created a solid presentation aid for the talk and followed the best practices of creating online presentation aids. A link to that video can be found in the description below. But even with the presentation aid, success of the presentation will come down to actually delivering the talk. Thus, to help calm some of those nerves, let's look at 5 tips to remember when you're preparing for your presentations. So when preparing for a presentation, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Let's start with tip 1. Add stories throughout your presentation. Audience members tend to relate content to stories much better than just facts and bullets. If you can use a story to set up points or facts that you're about to talk about, it'll help calm your nerves along with set the audience up for knowing what you're about to talk about. Just make sure that that story is something you are familiar with or a personal experience so that it's a lot easier for you to talk about on the fly, kind of like talking about a story with your friends. Tip 2. Try to incorporate humor if possible. Now, some of us are not good at telling jokes. If that's the case, don't do it. Comedy takes timing and wit and a number of other characters to be able to pull off. However, even telling a bad joke can loosen up the audience. Also, if you can't tell a joke or don't know any, consider poking fun at yourself a little bit to begin loosening up the audience as well. Many times I've had to ad-lib a, well, that didn't go like I expected moment, and it has put an awkward situation into a chuckle where everybody just feels a little bit easier. Also, you might be able to find a media clip to add in the humor so you don't have to do it yourself. But one way or the other, getting a laugh out of the audience generally puts everyone at ease. But when doing this, be aware of tip 3. When adding jokes or stories, be cognizant of your time and your time limit. Remember that if you're adding content like this, you may have to take a piece of content out or gloss over some content that you really wanted to spend a little bit more detail talking about. It's really a balancing act. Whatever happens, you don't want to go over time in your presentation. Letting an audience or a class out early, no one complains. Keeping them past the time to go, that's when you'll start hearing the shuffling of paper, the moving in seats, or general groans. That's always uncomfortable, so stay within your time limit. Now, tip 4. How do you make sure you stay within your time limit? Practice your presentation before the delivery date. Practice, practice, practice. Even if you've presented a number of presentations and you feel great in front of an audience, you still need to practice a few times to make sure the general timing is correct. Practice not just the kind of ad-libbing the slides in your mind, but actually practice delivering the presentation a couple of times in front of a mirror or in the living room or something. It doesn't have to be in front of people, but family and friends can give you some really good feedback as well. One way or the other, truly practicing your presentation will allow you to fine-tune elements and gain a familiarity that will make actually presenting in front of people that much easier. Now the last tip is a simple one, but something to do to get in the right mindset when preparing and actually getting up in front of people. Always remember that you are the expert. If you've been asked to talk on a topic, there's a reason. Now, obviously the one exception on this might be a school project or something like that, but in the real world, the audience is there to listen to you because you are an expert. If you slip up somewhere or hit a stumble, it doesn't matter because the audience more than likely won't even recognize it since they're not as familiar with the topic as you are. Thus, don't worry about memorizing an entire presentation, as that always messes up because you'll forget the one word and then you'll end up messing the entire presentation up. Rather, be familiar with the flow and the slides from practicing and then just ad-lib your way through it. It will sound more natural, and again, the audience won't know if you forget to say that one little detail. When it comes to questions and answers during a presentation, don't make up answers. It's okay to tell the person that's asking the question that you're really unsure, but you'll look it up for them. Now, when you do that, be sure to actually go and look it up with them and follow up with them to get them the right answer. But nobody will know everything, so give yourself a little time by saying, I don't know, but I got it for you. I'll go look it up. No one's going to be mad at you for doing that. So Marcus, hopefully these couple of quick tips will help ease that anxiety towards delivering a presentation. You've got this. You are the expert. Just put in some techniques like humor and stories to put everybody at ease and practice that bad boy. With those tips, there are probably a bunch of other ones out there, kind of like that old adage of picturing the audience naked and stuff like that. Are there other things that you do to ease your nerves before getting ready to do a presentation? If so, throw some of those strategies down in the comments area below, because you never know when one of those type of tips will help somebody out in that same exact situation. Also, if you like content like this, where we talk about enhancing classes and trainings, using technology and teaching strategies, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're always trying to get new content out there to help you guys make these educational experiences just a little bit better. So in the meantime, good luck, keep building, and we look forward to seeing what you guys create.